The 5 steps to the secret of self-love. The reason why I chose to speak about self-love today again is because it stands out in my clients that they deny themselves self-love again and again, and they don't even realize. By living in chaos, they stop themselves from moving forward. By not keeping promises to themselves, they deny themselves and they stop themselves from moving forward. By blaming others or themselves, they deny themselves and they stop themselves from moving forward. And there is many other reasons. And really pretty much every single person I'm working with is lacking self-love. That's why it's such a huge conversation and such an important conversation to have. To give you an example from my life, very early on in my relationship with my ex-husband, I denied myself self-love on a single evening 3 or if not 4 times. So it was an evening when we went out. We went to a nightclub and really had a good time. It was the time before we even had children. It was just him and myself. And we really got on well with each other and enjoyed each other that night until I had to go to the bathroom after having a few drinks. And it happened that another man needed to go to the bathroom as well. So what had happened when I came out from the bathroom was my partner was in a fight with that man. And boy oh boy, I was so angry, but I didn't show my anger, instead suppressed my emotions and made up a story in my mind about, oh my God, he must love me so much because of his jealousy. So that was the first denial. Then I denied myself again by allowing to be loved by somebody who didn't trust me. Even though I knew I would never do the wrong thing, because if I committed to being with a man, then he was the only one for me. He did not trust me, and that's why he was jealous and acted that way. That was the second denial. The third denial was I really needed to be loved by somebody who trusted me, because I trusted him as well. So by being in love with somebody who did not trust me, I denied myself again. Sad story, isn't it? The sad thing about it is that I lived in that story for 23 years. I created one story after the other to make excuses for my husband, now ex-husband. I got into that spiral of denying myself deeper and deeper. In the end, I didn't love myself anymore at all. I sort of didn't exist anymore at all, because then we had children, I was there for them, and my needs and my boundaries and everything was getting violated over and over again. So I loved myself less and less and less, until I decided one day that enough was enough and I got out of that relationship. But what I want to say is that self-love is the most important and most beautiful gift that you can give yourself. And I'm explaining to you first what had happened with me that night, and then we look at how you can start loving yourself again. So let's analyze what had happened with me that night. That act of jealousy created a significant emotional event for me. Second thing, I blamed myself for not speaking up about it and staying silent. Next, the third thing I did was I created a story a story telling myself how much he loved me because he was so jealous. Next thing that happened, number 4, was that I actually apologized for my partner and his actions, even though in reality I condoned them. What happened next, number 5, was me making excuses for him and not speaking up about the truth, what I was actually thinking about his actions, because of fear that he would stop loving me. What bullshit, really. Yes, so that was the 5 steps that had happened, the 5 steps to lack of self-love. That's exactly what I had done. So now let's look at how you can act in a way that you support yourself on your way to self-love. What could you do instead to stay true to yourself? And speaking about being true to yourself, I'd like to remind you that I'm actually the author of a book called Chains Off, Wings On, which you can get at Amazon. And in chapter number 6, I'm actually talking about being true to yourself. So if you're interested and find out more about it, feel free to get my book. It's not that expensive. At the end of each chapter there is also kind of a workbook that you can work through yourself. And yeah, feel free to have a look. Let's talk about the 5 steps to self-love, because that's what I'm here to do with you. I want to help you to find self-love. So if you decided you want to hop on that train to self-love, then I want you to be honest with yourself, because it's not an easy journey and it takes commitment and work. Start by asking yourself, or noticing, having awareness around when you are blaming yourself or others, when you are playing the victim, when you are playing the martyr, when you are settling for less. The second thing I want you to be aware of is your old story. What is the story that you are telling yourself about your life? Really think about it. What is it you are constantly doing? Blaming, justifying, settling for less, and then make a conscious decision to dump that story, and right underneath, I dumped the story of blah 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 blah. And as a third step on your way to self-love, positive attributes that you can incorporate in your life from now on. Attributes like compassion, joy, playfulness, curiosity, kindness, compassion, openness to new ideas, resilience, and make a conscious decision that yes, I want to add the following attributes into my life from now on. The next step, number 4, is a step I really love. It is thinking about your ideal future self and say, I, and then insert your name, hear, see, feel and know that I am, and then insert some of the attributes that you have worked out before, and then fill in the blanks to what you want to do in the future with yourself. And the final step is to take action immediately, because nothing can replace action at the moment of decision. And for you, the moment of decision is now. So think about what the action is you can take from now on. And now I want you to imagine that you have caught the train to self-love. And as you are growing self-love within you, You're moving from one wagon to the next. And in each wagon, there is more self-love that you surround yourself with. And at the end of the train, there is only self-love. And this kind of feeling, it will be warmth, as if the sun was warming your entire body. And you will feel like floating in the air. Give yourself that gift of feeling the self-love within you. The most precious gift you can make yourself. And with that, I leave you today, and I hope that tomorrow you will be already a tiny little step closer on your path to self-love. Good luck. See you soon again. Bye for now.